Disturbing photos have appeared online of a group of neo-Nazis, can you believe it, celebrating adult Hitler's birthday. The group are pictured performing the Nazi salute around a portrait of Hitler. The event took place at a Bavarian beer hall in Melbourne. When staff realised what was happening, they called the police. I'm joined by the Anti-Defamation Commission Chairman, Dr. Davir Abramovich. Good morning to you. When you saw these images, what was your initial reaction?
Good morning, Michael. Well, it's clear that Nazism didn't die in the bunker with Hitler in 1945. White supremacism, anti-Semitism are not history. They're news and they're alive and well here in Victoria. And the fact that we have these hardcore bigots, these homegrown extremists, who would love nothing more than putting people like myself in a gas chamber and fantasize about an Australian Hitler. The fact that you've got these ticking time bombs openly and proudly celebrating, you know, a monster who exterminated 6 million Jews and 6 million others tells us that we've got a problem from hell that we can't run or hide away from.
They took his portrait, they took a swastika cake to a restaurant in the open, made a booking, no care in the world. What concerns you about that?
Well, they're becoming very emboldened, they're becoming very agitated. And I'll remind you viewers of one thing. This particular group, the Nationalist Socialist Network, which is headed by Thomas Sowell, tried to recruit Brenton Tarrant, who massacred 51 parishioners in the 2 mosques in New Zealand. Michael, we don't need a Christchurch in Melbourne or in Sydney or in Brisbane or in Adelaide to take this evolving security threat seriously. The worst thing that we can do is to underplay the threat that these hateful individuals pose.
Davir, what concerns me here initially is that, as we're reading it, police can't even take action over that gathering. There doesn't seem to be a criminal charge in there. What's your take on that?
Well, this is the problem that we have, and I've argued for years that white supremacist neo-Nazi organizations, as they've done in other countries, need to be designated as a terrorist organization. These particular movements are inspired by people like Brenton Tarrant, by people like Robert Bowers, who massacred 9 Jews in the Pittsburgh Tree of Life synagogue, Anders Breivik, who murdered 77 people in Norway. They're inspired, and we only need one individual listening to the incitement and to the hate that they're peddling to think that it's time to take action, that it's a cause worth dying for. I call on the federal government, once again, to designate these groups as terrorist organizations. It would give law enforcement all the powers that they need to crack down and to tear them at the root.
Yeah, and we know that the Vic Police want to do something about it as well, so it's good, well said there. Dr. Davir Abramovich, thank you so much for joining us today.